Here are the tests on my 2012 Glacier Bay all-in-one toilet. It is set to the water line on the original flush valve, and it is using the original flapper. So I will show you guys a flush, and then let's see how it does on tests. The flush is weak, and it does not look very good either. For the first test, let's see if it can take a washcloth. The trapway is fully glazed, so even though it has a weak flush, I'm expecting a perfect pass. Took it like nothing. Although the line carry is not very good, it took its time to come out of the pipe. For the next test, let's see if it can take a grocery bag. And let's add a little more water to the bowl. Honestly, I think it can take it. I don't see it at the end of the pipe, but by the looks of it, it went through all the way. I'm going to give it a courtesy flush and see if it flushes right. I think it was just stuck in the pipe. I bet it passed. Let's try that again and see if I can get it to pass all the way through the pipe. It's still in there somewhere, but it seems to take it through the toilet just fine. Now, let's see if it can take the washcloth and the grocery bag together. I think it will clog. I can still see the very tip of the washcloth. It's in there. I bet it can pass by itself. I'm going to wait for the tank to refill and then I will give it another flush. That's definitely a fail. I think the main problem with this toilet is the severe lack of flushing power. So I'm going to try that again, but this time I'll hold the handle. I don't think that's really going to do much, but it's worth a shot. Well, it did more than a regular flush. It took it. Now, let's see if it can take a dish towel. I do not think this will pass. Yeah, it's really, really weak. I'm going to angle it, but I'm only going to put just a little bit of it up here since it doesn't have much power. It's probably not going to be able to pull it off the rim if I put it as high up as some of the other toilets. So the tank's about full. Let's see if it can take it angled. This toilet flushes like a water-starved 1.28 gallon toilet, even though it is 1.6 gallons and set to the correct water level. It looks like this design actually had potential, but they just decided to put it on a really bad tank. I bet it would work a lot better if it had one of those tall tanks like the newer models and maybe a 3-inch flapper. I think that's what went wrong. So that's not really surprising for an older, cheap toilet. So the performance is pretty bad. The line carry is terrible, but I'm going to put it on a Briggs Ultima tank when I restore it, and I might use an aqua piston if I can get it to flush for long enough, because I've heard that those increase the power. I don't really see it, but if it works, it works. So now let's move on to the flush tests. For the first flush test, let's see how it flushes with a dry bowl. It's just going to do the typical backwards flush that I see on so many high efficiency toilets. It actually almost siphoned, which is quite surprising. I'm guessing it won't really do anything but swirl around a little bit because it's got one of those not water saving flappers, I guess just a regular flapper, so it's not going to close immediately. It's just going to swirl around real weakly for a few seconds. That was a lot stronger than I thought it would be, but it's about as short as I expected. So I'm going to fill the tank all the way to the top, and I'm going to get rid of all this stuff that came out of the rim, and I'm going to give that another flush. This is going to have a really awesome flush. Wow, that was cool. I can tell this is going to be an interesting one on the high tank. It doesn't flush like your typical high efficiency toilet. It just doesn't have enough power to flush like it's designed. I mean, I bet it was designed to flush weak like this, but it looks like those jets have a lot more power than they're using. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm a bit tired right now, so I'm not really forming sentences quite the way I'd like. But anyway, for the next test, let's see if it can take dirt. Of course it didn't stick to the sides, but it looks sort of cool. There's still a little left. So I think it will do very badly in both rinse and clearance. For the weak flush it has, it cleared the bowl pretty well. So let's see how the rinse did. The rinse is kind of bad. It didn't really stick to the bowl, so you can't really see 100% of how the rinse would be, but it's not good. I can just promise you that. So I'm still gonna restore this toilet and sell it. It's not bad enough for me to throw away, especially since I can just put a different tank on it and that should solve the problem. Also, I can put in a taller flush valve, and I think that's the main thing that will help it do better. So I'm gonna give it another flush and clear the rest of this out, and I'll wrap up the video. So anyway, that is all for this video. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps my channel a lot and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.